Hello, my name's Neil. Welcome to Recto for You. Today we're going to be working on this. Now, it's an old Amstrad. It's an 086. I found it in somebody's garage and I thought I'll have a look at it. Now, it's untested. I'm not sure how it works. It's come with a pile of discs, with a book, etc. So I just thought today we'll have fun. We'll strip it down. We'll give it a clean out and then we'll try power on and see if it works or not. So I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. I'm still waiting on getting some parts for the Amiga build to carry on with that. Unfortunately, like I said before, it's an expensive build and I am going to carry on with it. But today, this weekend, I just wanted to get on with this and crack on with it. So, without further ado, I'll join you after the intro and let's crack on with this. Hi, so today we're working on this. This is a PC1512 double D. The double D stands for 2 disk drives. It's got two 5¼ disk drives. It's made by Amstrad, which is a British computer, and one of Captain Commodore's favourite, none the least, owned by Alan Sugar, who runs now The Apprentice. So with this, I got an array of items. I got the original PC1512 manual, or book 1 it says. I don't know whether it's a book 2 or not, but it's a hefty book. We got an array of discs here in this package. So we got Gem Desktop version 2. Now remember, Gem Desktop was an OS system before Windows, and it was on the Atari ST, remember rightfully, and it stood for Graphics Environmental Manager. We've also got Microsoft MS-DOS operating system. We've got DOS Plus Startup, Disk 4. And we've got Disk 2, which is Gem Startup version 2. So hopefully we'll be able to get some of these running and get this machine running. Now, I haven't tried to power this on. It's been stored in a garage for a long while, since the 90s. I think it got put away. It's an 086 processor with 512K of memory. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start stripping this down and having a look inside, because generally I won't turn these on until I've had a look inside, obviously for safety reasons, etc. With them being old machines, I don't want things blowing up in my face, etc. Now, the power supply isn't built into this unit, it's built into the monitor. So later on we'll be taking the monitor to pieces as well and just checking that out for blown caps, fuses, etc. Giving it a good general clean out. We're going to clean these disc heads, etc. and just have a look and nosy what's inside this thing. So I'm going to switch to the overhead camera and we'll start. So I'm going to switch to the overhead camera and we'll start disassembling this thing. Okay, so here we are. So we've got these like catches here at the back, which we can press and push backwards. Yep. And in there, believe it or not, is a hard disk. It'd be wonderful to see if there's anything on this hard disk. It's actually got all the heads and cylinders listed, etc. So it's probably something like I don't know what size it is. So it's going to be interesting. And also, there's a hard drive controller there. I don't know whether you can see that. So we're just going to pop this hard disk out. Like I said, we're going to disassemble it all and see what we can find. I'm surprised it's got a hard disk in it, because I thought it was just a floppy disk based system. So let's see if it works and if there's anything on it later. But it's interesting. It's like PC archaeology in a way. So we're just going to undo this slot here. Look at that for a screw. Now that is a long screw. Jesus. And then we're just going to try and pull this out. Now this should be an 8-bit ISA slot, which it is. For some reason, there you go. So that all slides out in one assembly. You see the hard disk there? It's a very big and chunky hard disk. Doesn't say what size it is. Got 406 cylinders. Oh no, it's a 406 cylinders, 431 cylinder, 390 cylinder. The other information isn't filled in, so I have to have a look at that. It's made by Seagate by the looks of it, so it's a decent make. And obviously there is your hard drive controller. So we'll put that safe to one side behind. Now we need to look how we get the rest of it apart. I guess we need to take these out. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll take these other long screws out. And we'll take these two at the back. They don't want to come undone that easy. These like mega long screws as well. What is it with Amstrad and stupidly long big screws? So same again with this back one. Pretty tough to undo these are. Now there is two kind of buttons here to press, but I get it undone. Now I can. It looks like I'm not sure. Oops, something's happening here. Anything coming undone here? Oh. No. I thought it would have just popped forward, slid forward, but doesn't seem to want to. Wait a minute, there's something there. That one was going there. Right, see these arrows here? Ah, there you go. They're not push buttons. There's actually screws hidden underneath them. So that explains it. So, again, they feel like mega long screws. Again, they feel like mega long screws. So, let's just try to take these out. I mean, they are a beast of a screw. So hopefully now, yeah, well, let me just check where that goes. It actually hooks around there, plugs on the board. It's marked on there, blue and black. So here we have the insides of the machine. So what we need to do is get these two hard drives out, get all that heat sink out. Will this come off now? But did that sound good? Didn't sound too good, did it? But it came off. It didn't break anything, don't worry. And then this obviously LED comes off like so. Now this can all go. Do we put it in the dishwasher? Do we risk it? Because last time, you know what happened to Commodore 64? I might risk it. Let's see. I died by the end of this video anyway, what I'm going to do. So what I need to do now is to get these floppy disk drives out here. Because I want to strip these down, give the mechanism a grease up, and obviously give them a good clean out, because you can see along here. As you see along here, there's quite a lot of dirt and obviously debris because it's been stood for a long while. So what we're going to do is just going to flop these disk drives out. Well made, these Amstrads, Ali. I mean, they've got the longest ever screws in I've ever known. Even the bloody disk drive screws. It's like they use wood screws and everything. Look, see? Again. Mega long screws. Now that isn't going to reach. So far, there's 4 capacitors along the back down here, and these look fine. So it doesn't look as if we've got any leaking caps, which is a good sign. That wasn't made by Commodore, was it? It was made by Amstrad. So we'll get these disk drives out. Need to use an extension on this. No. So, I think we're about ready to list these disk drives out. Have a look. I just need to unplug the cables. I think know which way they went out with a red drive. And then up from just 2 powers, which are here and there, which are standard Molex. And there you go. The drive should list out. Remove those screws. Put the drives to one side. And put in this bloody light. And then there's... Now we can see now. Maybe Amstrad BIOS there. These Amstrad 40433, 4044. For the moment, the board looks pretty clean. There's a load of, looks like unpopulated RAM here, which we could populate and probably upgrade its RAM. For the moment, still looking pretty good. Let's unplug this here. Plug that, if we can remember where they go. Hopefully, and then we'll take this RF shield off and have a look at the board. Like screws hidden everywhere. screw down here. Lots of screws hidden. Now, this should allow me got a tie wrap here. We can cut. Being careful not to cut any wires. The tie wrap here. I don't actually know, so I'm just going to feed that cable through there, because I'm not actually sure how it's fastened to the board. I don't want to risk pulling something off and knackering it. Same with this one. So, I'm going to pop these screws out of here so I don't lose them. Now, looking at it, it all looks pretty well. I don't know whether this does unplug from the. I don't think it does. It looks like it's actually physically crimped on the board. Let me see if I can zoom in to show you. So if you look here, you can see that is actually crimped onto the board, that cable. So it's a good job I didn't like rag it off. But the actual board itself looks in good condition. Doesn't seem to be any corrosion. There's the Intel processor there. Looks like it. You see it here. So let's see what we can get done. I can't remember where that came from. I'll look into that later. So let's just remove this board. Hopefully. Good. Find out. I need to remove that button there. Now, got an extra screw there. So now we can remove this case. There. We have the board, if you can see. So hopefully you can all see this well. Like I said before, that's crimped. There's a processor there. There's a couple of Amstrad. Look, 1986 it is dated. So got 3 ISA slots there, 8-bit ISA. And some weird ass looking resistors there on some like long legs. So what we're going to do is, the board looks good with a slight bit of corrosion around here, etc. But we're going to give that all a nice clean up. I don't know what this extra socket is by the processor. Don't know whether anybody else knows what that's for. But it'd be interesting to try and find out. You can see here, the board is in lovely condition. Both sides. Look at that. Nice, yeah? Nice quality workmanship there from Amstrad. So what we're going to do, quickly go and give that a clean off with some IPA, etc. And we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I hope you can hear me. I've actually gone and got all this cleaned out now as best as I can. It did go through the dishwasher. It did survive. So now what we're going to do is just get this thing rebuilt. Apart and clean the heads, etc., and maybe grease what we can if we can find the grease, that is. So let's just have a look. So what we're going to do now most of this is together, we're going to get the floppy drives and we're going to strip them down and give the heads a clean and see what they look like inside and get the rest of the machine together. So here's the first disk drive. We're just going to get it out of this metal casing, hopefully. Maybe we're not, because we can't seem to undo these screws. Jesus Christ. I need to go get a bigger screwdriver, I think. You see here, they've done up with some sort of like Loctite. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look for a different screwdriver, and I'll be back. So, I'm now back with the bigger screwdriver. So we're just going to crack these out and remove the hard disk. I've already cracked them off. what we can do now is that is complete. You can see the hard drive's complete and everything's in there. You've got the mouse port there, the keyboard on the side. They always have some funny connections. That one there is a power. That one is a monitor output. It's got a monochrome monitor. So hopefully that's all good to hopefully power on soon. So let's just see. But first, we need to crack on with a monitor. So hopefully you can see the monitor here. You can see very, very dusty. Look at that. Let's just wipe that muck off. What we're going to do is we're going to take this apart and have a look inside it, just in case there's anything. I can see a lot of debris, a lot of capacitors. Well, you can see this as well. Fuse, all the caps look good. You see that there? There's a fuse, all the caps look good. I'm just going to be very cautious in here. But I haven't discharged the monitor. I don't want to discharge that monitor at the moment. At the moment, can't see anything I'm quite worried about. Whatever you can see here, it all looks good actually. So what I'm going to do, I'll put that back together and just see if it works, because there's no bulging caps, no blown fuses, nothing I can see that burnt or anything like that. So why disturb this? Because it looks okay. So we need to try and get that back together here with this bit of plastic in it, whatever there was, a stand. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to play around again. Being Amstrad, it doesn't look to be made that well, as Lee would say. You can see under there, not brilliant, is it? But a lot of bodged silicon and stuff there. But what I'll do, I'll just give it a bit of a wipe out. We'll clean it out inside a bit. And then we'll put it together. We'll connect it to the PC and we'll attempt to power this thing on. Because like I say, there's nothing that looks untoward about it, which is good news. So we'll just thread this plug through. Got the old school plug there, if you can see. See this old school plug? Where it hasn't got a British safety standard on it, so it's just basically metal on metal. So a little kid could get his fingers on there and get electrocuted. So we will change that eventually for a more modern plug. And that is the monitor that looks actually quite good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and get this set up and we're going to see if the bloody thing works or not. Might do, it might do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this set up. I'm going to give it a turn on. See if it powers on or not. Let's hope, eh? No idea. It's bought as untested. It's been in the shed for a while, so Who knows? But inside it looks good. No signs of corrosion, nothing. All we had to do is strip it down and give it a clean. So let's see. So you can see I've got it all plugged up. I've got the keyboard. I've got the freaky mouse plugged in. So we're just going to turn it on and see what happens. The switch is at the back. That's a good sign. We've got a light. Can't hear any hard drive. But I don't know if you can see that. It actually says please wait up here. Now it's not very bright, is it? Don't know whether I can turn it up. But yeah, there is something there. It says last used in January 1980. So we have got some live. Asking for now. So Amstrad PC1512K, 1st of January 1980, and last used on the 1st of January 1980. It seems to be trying to read the disc. It's come up with 1701. I don't know whether that's an error or anything. And it's asking insert system disk into drive A. Now we have got some discs here. So you can see here we've got an array of discs. Whether they work or not is a different matter. So it says system disk. So this says MS-DOS operating system startup utilities. So we'll stick that one in. And we'll press a key. And instantly this boot failure. So it doesn't look as if that disk is any good or the disk drive. So let's try another one. This one has Gem on it. Gem startup version 2.0. Loading DOS Plus. It's looking more. Oh, and read error. So let's try that again. Insert a disk. It looks like it tried to load that disk. I'll run out in a minute. With two more we can try. This yellow disk. Loading DOS Plus. And then read error again. Not looking too promising, is it? Can't hear that hard drive, so I can't remember whether these do actually boot into the hard drive or whether you have to load them off the floppy disk first. So wrong disk, insert a system disk and press any key. So I think I'm going to leave it there now. We've done quite a lot of work on this Amstrad. We need to try and get this working somehow. I'm going to have another look again at the hard disk. You can see here it's loading disk plus, DOS plus. So it's trying to work. So if anybody's used one of these before and can remember, I myself never used one of these. It's a PC1512 double D. Please drop me a comment down below whether these things boot off the hard drive. I presume they don't have a built-in BIOS. I may be wrong. I thought the BIOS would have been on a setup disk or something, but I don't seem to have it here. So if anybody knows if I just need to boot off a disk or whether I can boot from that hard drive or it needs more investigation, then please let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you enjoyed looking at this machine with me. There's plenty more retro stuff on the way, like I say, so I'll catch you in the outro. So, you made it to the end, well done. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it fully working. Now, I have a quick update on this. Do you remember I said I couldn't hear the hard drive? Well, I put my hand on the hard drive, it was red hot. So, I just quickly whipped it out, I took the top off, and I noticed it was jammed. So, I just spun the motor, span it, sprayed some like lubricant into the center, not over the disc platter obviously, but slightly into the center. It seems to be moving freely now. And if I turn it on now, if you listen, if I can find the power switch, bear with me. So if you can hear that on the mic, but the hard disk is actually spinning now, which is a bonus, but it still doesn't load the OS. It's still asking for a system disk, which I don't seem to have. So it tries to load some of the system disk like it's very loud, it very beeps, but it doesn't want to boot anything. So I'm going to try to see if we can get a system disk made somehow. I think somebody must have a 5 1/4 drive somewhere. Captain Commodore, 8-bit Retro Refix, anybody with 5 1/4 in a PC. If you can make me a DOS disk, please do that and send it to me so I could try and boot this thing and access the hard drive, etc. Because I'm interested to see if there is anything data on the hard drive or whether it's just kaput. So that's for another video anyway. The Harlequin, I made progress as well. I've managed to get the keyboard working. The only thing I can't get going at the moment is loading the game on it. You saw last time we fixed the colour. So again, that'll be coming later. We're almost at 1,000 subs, so thank you very much everybody who's subscribed. I think we're 5 away at the moment. Yes, just 5 subs away. So if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below, even if it's hello. And that's about it for now. I'll see you next time on Retro for You. See you soon, guys. Bye.